Gents, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing okay. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the importance of having a singular focus and not getting off track. The truth is that a man with a singular focus will always outperform the man with scattered attention. A man who has a plan, but then sees something shiny, sees a new opportunity, sees a new trend that he can hop on, abandons the plan, hops on the new trend, fails the new trend, and finds something else. This is so common. This is so common, especially in 2026, because people are hardwired to look for ways in which to do less work and get more. And look, I'm a believer in working smarter, not necessarily working harder. I think in the modern world, you don't really need to work yourself to illness anymore to become successful or to have a good life. I think there are definitely elements of the past that were very damaging. However, a lot of guys take this too far, and a lot of guys find themselves in a position where they are just drifters. They're experts at nothing. They are professional procrastinators, and they are jacks of all trades but masters of none. I wanted to make this video today because I think it's really important for guys listening to give themselves a reminder to stay with the plan. Stick to what you are doing. If there is an end goal, a plan in place to reach that end goal, and you are not even halfway there yet, you have no business to complain. You have no business to start procrastinating and looking at other things. You haven't fulfilled the necessary work yet. Now, I understand if you've been doing something for years and there's very little success and there's very little evidence that what you're doing is working, then maybe you need to go back to the drawing board. But a lot of guys will start new ventures, and before they've even got the ball rolling yet, they're looking for an exit. They're looking for the next big thing. And a lot of this comes down to laziness, but also fear. Fear that they're going to get left behind because this new tool is out now and a lot of people are doing this particular software, or a lot of people are doing this particular side hustle. Dropshipping's not cool anymore, it's all about this. I'm going to do that as well. This guy's winning, I can win. But the reality is, you're very unlikely to hop on something and then really quickly get a bunch of success from it. It happens. There are success stories of people jumping on trends and doing really well and getting off the trends, in and out. But I want to ask you, who is more equipped to deal with success and money? Is it the guy who got lucky on a trend? Decided to buy Bitcoin before he even knew what it was and things paid off and he got a bunch of money? Or is it the guy who built a business from the ground up over the period of 10 years, curated perfect systems, and now has a revenue driving force that he loves, that he's at the heart of? Who's going to know how to deal with wealth more? I would say it's going to be the guy who's built the business. It's going to be the guy who has been there for the whole way. He's been there for the whole process. And I'd probably say that he's got better character as well. He's going to be more resilient. He's going to be stronger. He's going to be more calculated. If by the odd chance quick money comes your way and you happen to get some success through luck, take it. Take it and be sensible with it. You're not going to turn down quick success. Let's say, for example, you have aspirations of creating content online, and within your first month you gain 1 million subscribers or 1 million followers. It's impossible that anyone could expect you to be unhappy about that. If success finds you in a quick way, take it, but don't aim for it. Because it's like a scent that everybody can smell on you. They can sense that you are just a money-hungry guy who is going to drop as soon as he gets what he wants. You're not a guy who actually wants to provide value. You're not a guy who actually wants to make change. You're not a guy who actually cares about what it is that he's doing. And that doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you're not doing the thing that you need to be doing. And if you're just obsessed with hopping on trends and hoping that one day you're going to get lucky, then it's unlikely that you're ever going to spend enough time doing one particular thing to ever love it. And then there's the whole debate about purpose, and what may happen is you're just going to go from thing to thing and not have any drive, not have any intention behind what you're doing, not have any care about what it is that you're working on. You're just going to be a guy who is just jumping, leaping like a tree frog from lily pad to lily pad. And that can get tiring, that can get miserable. Instead, with anything and everything that you do, stick to the plan. You got to give it at least 6 months. And I think that is, at the minimum, your side hustle, your savings plan, whatever it is that you're doing, you've got to give it at least 6 months, and you've got to be disciplined with it. And you've got to check yourself, because there are going to be shiny distractions, there's going to be shiny objects, there's going to be people posting about their wins and their success doing this particular thing. But remember where you are. You're over there. You're doing that thing because you thought about it. You're doing that particular side hustle. You're doing that particular job, whatever it is, because you thought about it. There's a strategy. There's an end goal. And you've got a plan. And you're following that plan. Don't jump off. If, for example, you're looking to save money for an end goal, let's say you're looking for a deposit on a house, and you've dedicated that you're going to put this much money in every single month, and it's going to go in that ISA, that stocks and shares ISA, and you're not going to deviate from that. And then 3 months in, you start to feel, well, there might be an opportunity with this crypto fund. Maybe I could just take a little bit out of my deposit fund and I could put a bit in there, and maybe I can win quicker, and then I can put that into my deposit fund. But actually what ends up happening is you take £400 of the payments that you were going to put in your deposit fund, you put it in crypto, and then you lose all the money. And then you're backwards. Stick to the plan. Be disciplined. It's boring. It's boring sometimes. It's tiring. You're going to find that there are moments where you get sick of the plan, but you've got to remember why it's there. You've got to remember why you are doing what you are doing, the end goal that you want to reach, the impact that you want to have, the change that you want in your life. You can't just complete 35% of whatever it is that you are doing and then hop to something else. You've got to see it through. You've got to go up until 100%. You've got to get it done. So if you've committed to something, you owe it to yourself to stick to it. It's boring. But boring people win. Boring people who save X amount for 30 years in a row aren't going to be as boring when they've got a really nice pot of cash to sit on because of their discipline. It's guys that dabble in lots of different things. It's guys that never stick to a plan that are actually boring, because it's when it's all said and done, they've got nothing to show for it. Or at least not half as much as they could have had if they had been disciplined and been boring and stuck to the plan. We live in a world of dopamine and distractions. There are times where we are all, myself included, going to get pulled in different directions. But it is then the responsibility of ourselves to drag ourselves back to the center, to put ourselves back on track, and to follow the plan. As I said, the only caveat I'm going to make is, look, if you've been doing something for a really long time, and there is indeed no evidence that it is working, maybe it's a bad plan. That's entirely possible. Then you can go back to the drawing board and you can reassess. And what I'm talking about here is, let's say you've been creating YouTube content, but you've been doing it for 2 years and you haven't got 100 subscribers. Or you haven't got 100 likes. Maybe there's an issue with the quality. Maybe there's an issue with the direction that you're looking to go in. You've been doing some freelance work for 2 years and you have one client. Okay, maybe there's an issue here. Maybe there's an area that we need to look at, or a shift that we need to make. But if you've been going for 3 months, 6 months, a year, it's not long enough. You need more skin in the game. You got to stick to the plan. Keep pushing. Don't allow yourself to be dragged left, right, and center, because you end up finding yourself doing things that you don't care about, just for the end outcome, just for the money that you want in your pocket. And you might not notice it, but that will reflect in your quality. That will reflect in how you actually perform within whatever it is that you are doing. A guy who genuinely cares about the mission that he is on and the service that he's trying to provide, or the offering that he is putting forward to the marketplace, acts in a different way to the guy who is just looking to take his cash and go home. You don't realize it when that's your mindset, but when you really care about something, you don't look at the clock. You don't think about the volume of work you have to do. You do it because you love it, and you do it well. Guys that are just chasing a paycheck, they can't say the same thing. And they're always watching the clock, and they're always looking for an exit. So my advice is to stick to the plan. That's always worked well for me. And in moments where you start to get distracted and the lights and the shiny objects start to pull you in one direction, you need to go back to the center. Go back to your baseline, stick to the plan, and focus on the one thing that it is you are doing. Don't try and dabble, don't try and juggle multiple different things at once. Just do one thing and do it really well, and do it until it works. Anyway, if you took some value, hit the like button, consider subscribing for more from me, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.